Hey everybody, it's Jennifer. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, I wanted to work with all things pink in honor of Molly Ringwald from one of my favorite movies, Pretty in Pink. So back in the 1980s, I wanted to be her. I thought she was so cool and I loved her style, the way that she dressed, her clothes. And personally, I would have chosen Ducky. So if you haven't seen this movie, go back and watch it and feel all of the wonderful 80s vibes. This is for my 80s babies out there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Enjoy. So I would love to know, if you don't mind sharing, if you were born in the 80s, what year exactly were you born in? I was born in 1983 and this movie came out in 1986, I think. Ferris Bueller's Day Off also came out in 1986. I believe the movie Aliens came out in 1986. So, I grew up with older aunts and uncles, and they were always, just watching all of the popular, movies and music videos. And so my older brother and I were, exposed to a lot of MTV and VH1. And I just remember loving this movie, loving the soundtrack. And I was, too young to really understand what was going on. But the older I got, I just really loved this movie and like just fell in love with it. I used to watch this movie like every day when I was in high school, like on my like VCR, and then I would watch it on like a DVD player. And I've been looking it up. I saw it for sale on Amazon Prime to buy, but it was like $14.99. I was like, okay, that's a little bit expensive. I might check to see how much it is on Apple TV or iTunes and see if I can get a better deal. So I would love to know down in the comments, if you guys have seen this movie, would you have chosen Blaine, who's the guy on the left, or would you have chosen Ducky? Like I said, I probably would have chosen Ducky. Ducky just seemed a little more like fun and like funnier, and like he was like fiercely loyal to Molly Ringwald. Gosh, I don't even remember her name in the movie right now. Why can't I figure it out? But he was like fiercely loyal to her, and like he kind of just like loved her from, like she could do no wrong in his eyes. So I thought that was very endearing. So yeah, I just have been thinking about this movie. It's been on my mind, and now since I'm currently on spring break, I really want to make time and watch this movie. I love movies from the 80s. I love music from the 80s. I might do a whole little like 80s series now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'll do like a little spread from like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And also the movie Lost Boys. Did you guys see that movie? Every time I see Kiefer Sutherland, and like when he was in the show 24, and he's been in like some other like government conspiracy theory television shows, and every time I see Kiefer Sutherland on TV, I always say, they're maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots. How do they taste? Like, I'll just never forget him saying that. Like, he was so annoying in that movie, but very handsome at that age. He was a very good looking guy. I remember having a crush on Kiefer Sutherland when I was little. So anyway, yeah, maybe I'll do like a whole 80s theme. So yeah, I've just been feeling very nostalgic lately, and I wanted to just go ahead and go with that. I'm currently working in my catch-all journal. I've been having a lot of fun in here lately. And yeah, I love this journal, and it's like one of my favorites. I love like how big it is and like how much space I have to work with these expander like happy planner-ish discs. So I just kind of love having all of the space. So I didn't know if I should like talk through this video or just kind of let the music play. Sometimes I do kind of like a journal and chill, but I thought it would be fun to just kind of talk about the 80s and what the 80s were like. And, I just remember like tapes. And I remember I used to like record songs off of the radio with my tape player. And funny story, we had the movie Clueless on VHS, and my brother sold our VCR at a yard sale, and he left the Clueless tape in the VCR. And we were like, oh no, now we can't watch the movie anymore. And like, I made that same mistake as well. Like, years later, I was recording, I was a huge DJ Quick fan when I was younger. He's like a rapper from like the early 90s, and I was a huge fan of his music. And he had like these certain little freestyle raps that he would do on 92.3 The Beat. And so I had this like old like little boombox, and I sold my boombox at a yard sale, and I left that tape in there with like all my DJ Quick little freestyles on there. And I'm still brokenhearted about that to this day. Like, I have found some of his freestyles on YouTube, but I can't find them. There's this one that I just like cannot find on the internet like anywhere. And I wish I could just like call him up on the phone. Hey, do you remember this rap that you did about 20 years ago? Could you just like FedEx it over to me or something, or like send me the link or something? But yeah, so it's cool that now we can just stream and listen to kind of whatever we want when we want to. So that's kind of cool. So in this video, you guys will be seeing me use a lot of ribbon. I have some like little scraps of ribbon that were left over from an arts and craft project that I'm just trying to go ahead and use those up. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and go to my next pink page here. I had a lot of pink cardstock that was left over from when my students, when we did our Valentine's Day crafts. So I wanted to use up some of that paper. And I haven't used my washi tape in a while, so I wanted to just bring out the washi, and I just kind of picked out the ones that had pink on them, and the ones that just spoke to me. So I wanted to get that out today and work with my washi. I don't know why I haven't been using my washi lately, but I'm using it today, and yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. And a lot of times when I'm working with washi, like I don't have it like super neat. Sometimes I rip it, sometimes I cut it, just depends. But yeah, it's not like super neat. And A lot of times when I'm doing my journaling spreads, I don't make them super neat. I just kind of wing it, don't really measure things out too much. So I would love to know down in the comments, what are you guys currently journaling about? What is speaking to you at this point in your life? Do you guys journal at all? Do you keep like a memory journal with photos? Do you bullet journal? I would love to know. I'm super curious about that. Another thing that I keep forgetting to mention is pen paling. So if you guys are interested in pen paling with me, leave a comment down below and we can exchange information from there. I would love to kind of just bring back that old school method of communicating, and what better video than to bring that up in this kind of 80s throwback. I would love to like communicate like via pen pal. I just think sometimes we need to just slow down and just kind of read and just kind of use our imaginations. I know we live in a really fast paced visual culture nowadays, but I think it would be kind of cool to get like a letter in the mail, like a handwritten letter. I think that would be like so awesome. So if you would be interested in pen paling with me, let me know. I have a small P.O. box, and it's only big enough for like just a regular letter size. It's not big enough to like receive packages or anything like that. So if we were to correspond via like mail, it would have to be just like a regular size letter. So I thought it would be really cool to pen pal and like get like a nice little pretty envelope in the mail. It'll be nice to get something in the mail other than bills. So if you guys like to write and you want to pen pal, leave me a message down below. And then from there, if I have any interest, I will leave my email address in the description box, and hopefully we can link up and become pen pals. I would love to know where you guys are from, what state you live in, just kind of what's going on where you are. I would love to know. I think it'll be super cool to, just have some friendships and just kind of communicate with one another in a way that's different. I don't have a ton of social media. I'm over here on YouTube. I am over on Pinterest. So if you guys want to see what I'm up to and you don't have time to watch a full video, you can find me over there on Pinterest. I still like hanging out over there. So yeah, I would love to have you guys over there as well. journal entry, I am writing down what pretty in pink means to me. I sort of just kind of put my own spin on it, and I thought to myself, what would my life look like if my life were pretty in pink? And sometimes I have a really bad habit of going down the shoulda, woulda, coulda road. And I think to myself, I should have did this, I could have done that, I would have done this and or that. And I just had to remind myself that, there are no mistakes, there are no regrets, and I'm exactly where I need to be right now in my life, even if my life is not perfect, and that is totally okay. So, on my next journal entry, I just write about kind of like how life is bittersweet. And I feel like for each bitter moment in my life, I have had an equally sweet moment. And so I wanted to write about this using my white gel pen on the pink paper. And yeah, I just write about all of the bittersweet moments in my life. And it reminds me of that song, Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve. So yeah, life is bittersweet, and I have to take the good and the bad, and I have to roll with the punches and just embrace everything that's happened to me, whether it's been wonderful or tragic or, good, bad, sad, happy. No matter what, I have to embrace it as something in my life that has come along to either teach me a lesson or make me stronger. And sometimes I feel like, wow, I just wanted my life to be normal. And my life has been anything but normal. And sometimes that makes me angry. But now I've come to a place in my life where I have accepted all of the good and the bad, all the blood, sweat, and tears. And I feel like it just makes for good content when I start, really getting into my writing. And so I have just come to accept all parts of my life and make peace with all the parts of my life that maybe I have just not accepted or have not been comfortable with. Or when I look back in my past, I see parts of my life that I wish had never happened. But I feel like if those things would have never happened, it wouldn't make me who I am today. So I appreciate all of the bittersweet moments in my life. So, normally when I'm journaling, I always have some sort of music playing in the background. So, like I mentioned earlier, I've been feeling really nostalgic lately. So I had to go back to some early 90s R&B, and I'm listening to You're Always on My Mind by SWV. And I remember having this tape and listening to it with my Sony Walkman, and like listening to this song like over and over, and then stopping it, rewinding the tape and listening to it again. And yeah, I just remember like being really young and kind of like wondering what it would be like to like be in love myself one day. And I remember my older sister was a huge fan of SWV. And my older sister, she's like about 9 years older than me. So whatever she was doing, I wanted to do. And she would listen to artists like SWV, Jodeci, Boyz II Men, Tony, Tony, Tony.
I was always just absorbing all the music that she was listening to. So really love, my 90s R&B. And yeah, I just love listening to all kinds of music. So the next song that I'm playing here is Middle by DJ Snake and by Polar Sunshine. So, in the year of 2016, I really got into like EDM, electronic dance music. And part of that reason was because every song I would listen to reminded me of my brother that passed away. And I was like, okay, well, every time I hear music, I can't start crying all the time. So I had to like venture out into some different genres. And I found EDM, and like in the year 2016, like my music library just like expanded, and it just exploded. And I really wish, my brother were here to hear these cool songs. So now I'm going back to the 80s with my new edition, and it's been really fun. Letting my son hear New Edition, and he just loves like all of their old stuff. And, New Edition was just one of those bands that I grew up listening to. And I love all of their old songs. And the music back then was just great. And like music is good today, but like back then it just had a certain like innocence to it, I guess. And it was just like, I don't know, more heartfelt and more honest and more vulnerable. I feel like the music nowadays, it's just more, I don't know, I think people kind of hide their feelings a little bit more. Whereas, back in the day, I think people were more honest about their romantic feelings and about love. I don't know, it's just my own personal opinion. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of reminiscing and going back down memory lane. What's your favorite music genre? Like, what do you listen to? Do you listen to music today? Do you listen to oldies, rock, hip hop, pop, country, a little bit of everything? I would love to know what you guys listen to, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.